Good evening, Internet. It's December 31st. It is currently 1836, New Year's Eve. So why I'm here right now is a guy I know on Twitter, SX Alpha. I'll put his Twitter username up here. Bing. Is doing a thing each year called TF insert number of insert year. So this year it's it's TF13 of 2013, in which we compile our top 13 Transformers purchases of that year. Well, this year's it's 13, last year it was 12, next year it'll be 14. You get the idea. This is all his idea, I'm just briefing you. And it seemed like a fun thing to do, so I'm gonna do it. And this isn't just Transformers that have been released this year. So this is just what I've bought in general. I've cut down a lot, so all I collect nowadays is Masterpiece, Generations, and Prime. And, well, with Prime being over, no more collecting of Prime. Also a bit of Beast Wars. But I haven't really bought a lot of Beast Wars recently. Starting from least to top favorite, here are my top 13 Transformers purchases of 2013.
Okay, folks, it's showtime!
Starting off with number 1 on the list, we have Generations Blitzwing, who... he would have been higher on the list, but the shoulder flaw is, it's not as crippling as people have been making it out to be, but it's still enough to knock him down to the 13th position. But it's a Generations Blitzwing. It's a really nice representation of the character, and they even worked in the head-changing game from Animated, which is a really nice homage. So, number 13.
Dark, excessive, time, liberty.
Number 12 on my list is a small one. It's Generations Trail Cutter, or Trail Breaker if you will. Now, this guy is just a neat little toy, but it's not the toy itself that places him on my list. As far as toys go, he's just pretty much a standard little car former. He's got the basic articulation, but it's more so the character that IDW has given him, and the brilliant comic it comes with, the pack-in version of Spotlight Trailbreaker, or Spotlight Trail Cutter in this case, which is a bit censored, sadly. They removed the alcohol references and the whole Trailbreaker Trail Cutter debacle, excuse me. But that comic alone and the character of Trail Cutter is enough to put him on my list.
Terracons, fight everybody!
Sharing the 11th spot on my list is Beast Hunter's Skystalker and his repaint, Skylynx. I got these at the same time, and there's the same mold, so I figured they can share a spot. I'm just going to put down one of them for now. Now, I really did not expect much from this toy. My good buddy Toxinom picked them up for me, well, both of them, and shipped them over a couple of weeks ago. And I'm absolutely blown away by how neat this is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but something about the design, something about this toy just completely clicks with me and everything about it. You've got the really cool wings, you've got the absolutely perfect dragon mode, he's got good articulation, it even has the very odd and unique, which I haven't really seen since this Voltron, but the I've got my face inside of my mouth kind of ordeal. I just love these. They're amazing. Coming in on the 10th spot on my list is, okay, a lot of people are probably going to call me a cheater at this point, but it's Generations Ruination. I know he's technically 5 separate toys. I know he's technically a retool of toys we got last year, but again, rules of the TF13. Yeah, I just really dig these. We finally have a set of official records. We finally have an official impactor, which is great. But these retools just click with me. I already have like a bazillion versions of these guys. But Roadbuster is an amazing piece, probably my favorite of the records. Impactor just makes the Onslaught mold rock. Whirl is Whirl, enough said. Not too hot about Topspin and Twin Twist, but I can live with them. So yeah, pretty darn neat.
Offer expires while you wait. Operators are standing by.
Coming in on place 9, we have a sleek black bad bot from Transformers Prime, RID. Yes, it's the RID Viacom. Enough has been said about these guys already. They're sleek, they're show accurate, they're posable, they've got a really clever transformation, they're virtually kibble free, and I like these guys enough to get 3 of them.
Extinction to all traitors!
On the 8th spot of this list, we have Generations Megatron, which has been receiving quite a lot of flack from the community, but I really like him despite his small stature. I really enjoy the IDW Megatron design. And, yeah, there's nothing to say. He's rocking the vehicle mode, the Black Stealth Bomber. He's got plenty of articulation, a fun transformation, and he's plenty posable. That's all the scores I need. Sadly, I did not get a hold of the Dreadwing repaint / retool. If I had gotten that this year, I might have had him take this spot, because Dreadwing is one of my favorite boss from my childhood.
The king has the power. He needs nothing more.
Grabbing the 7th place on my list, we have another Prime Beast Hunting Beast Hunter. It's Beast Hunter's Voyager Shockwave. This guy is just neat all around. Let's just get this crap off of him. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I'm a Shockwave fan. I've always really loved Shockwave as a character and as a design. And I really liked what they did with him in Prime, and this toy reflects everything. Yeah, the vehicle mode is a little bit, yeah, on the uninspired side. But I still like it, and kudos to Hasbro. That hose is pure brilliance.
Destiny. You cannot destroy my destiny.
On the place, I'm going to take you all on a blast to the past. We've got Megatron. The second Megatron on this list, and it's actually the Japanese release. Now, this is my favorite Beast Wars Megatron design, the Transmetal. But as many of you might know, the Western version, the Hasbro Kenner release, is notorious for being kind of very super fragile. And I felt like buying a Western one, even though I do kind of prefer the deco, only to have it perhaps crumbling after 2 or 3 transformations, and then having to buy another one, and never being able to actually fiddle with it. Excuse me. That just didn't sit right with me, so I figured I'll be on the wild side. I'll buy the Japanese release. And I found one mint and sealed box for £70 shipped, which stung, but was so totally worth it. Love this dude.
5 up, 5 down. It's like shooting cyber ducks in a barrel.
It's a race to the finish, and on the 5th place, we have Platinum Bruticus. And his package dude, Platinum Grimlock. Now, I mainly bought this set for Bruticus, so let's talk about him for a bit. I missed on the SDCC version, and I regretted it. I got the retail colors in all its neon caramel glory, but it just wasn't enough. I got the G2 version, which is real nice, and you can kind of see him over my shoulder there. But it still wasn't enough, since he only appeared in one level as part of the DLC, which wasn't that impressive. And so, the Platinum set comes along, and boom, I have my favorite molds of 2012 in game-accurate colors in 2013, along with a pretty nifty Grimlock.
Let's roll!
We've reached the top 4, and this is where stuff is getting kind of obvious. On the 4th place, we have Masterpiece Prowl. Now, this guy, I actually bought on a complete impulse. I was having a really downer day, I wasn't feeling good at all. I had some money to burn, and BBTS still had him in stock when I was making a massive order, like insanely massive. Like, I have never ordered as many toys in one go before. And I kind of regretted it. But yeah, I got this guy, and he absolutely blows me away. The sculpting, the articulation, the accuracy, the vehicle mode in particular is amazing. Prowl was never a standout character for me, but there's no way I can resist a toy this cool.
I got better things to do tonight than die.
Now, 3rd spot. Obviously, Springer. This toy. As you might have guessed, I'm a fan of the IDW universe, and Lost Down at the Records is one of my top, 2 comics ever of all time. So, seeing a IDW version of Springer pulled off this well just warms my heart. He's a clunky, articulated, sleek. Does that even fit with clunky? But just well-made triple changer. And he's got his sword, he's got a gun, which thankfully is not spring-loaded. More of that, please, Hasbro. I feel like I have to give this guy an honorable mention. So he'll share the third place with Springer as an honorable 3.5. He's technically not a Transformer, but he is a transforming robot. It's the SH Figuart X Chigoken Itachi Robo from Unofficial Sentai Akiba Ranger. This guy I never expected to own, but I got him as an early birthday present when he was on like 60 or so % sale on Hobolink in January. And my god, this is a beast. This is an absolute beast. He's just propped up on the display stand right now because I'm terrified to handle this thing. It's quite sturdy, but it's still, you know, it's a giant transforming robot. Couch potato, as Mr. Evangelist put it, that turns into a Figuart scale. I believe it's a, oh, what's the vehicle called? But yeah, this guy is one of my collection centerpieces, and I've got all the 3 Akiba Rangers to go with him. Hooray!
Say uncle or I'll shove your nose in your afterburner!
Cranking it up, one step, to number 2. Will I be able to beat the size of the Atasha? Yes, I can. Nicking the second place is Generations Metroplex. Might not be the technically most amazing robot in the Transformers line, and might not technically be the most amazing one I picked up, but I feel his sheer size and ambition alone makes him easily the second most amazing toy I have picked up, and one of my definite favorites in my collection. And he just draws, on the shelf, he just draws all attention to him, and it's kind of amazing. You've got an articulated Tformer that is taller than Fortress Maximus. I'm not going to go into the actual mass debate, since a lot of people argue that Fortress Maximus has a lot more mass, and I can kind of believe them. But this guy is just... Personally, I've never been that fond of Fort Max. I've seen all 3 versions of the mold in person. I've handled it once. Aside from its size, it just doesn't do it for me. So this guy, with his articulation and his speech, his electronics, this is the Tformer I've always dreamed of, I think. Yeah, articulated, comes with a real neat scamper, plays well with the new Legends class, which is amazing in and of its own, and it does this.
They don't call me Warpath cause I'm gentle.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the grand finale, a Transformer I've waited 20 years for. Ever since I was a child and first got to see Transformers, when I was about 3 years old, I instantly fell in love with this character. I got the vintage one recently. It was like 5 years ago. And this year, he got a masterpiece, and of course, I had to have it. Obviously, I'm talking about MP13 Soundwave. This was the first time I really liked a masterpiece well enough to pre-order it. And boy, am I glad that I did. This is the perfect Soundwave. A lot of people are complaining about the fact that he's hollow, but come on. For shizzles, people. He does this. And you need to stuff in here. Of course he's hollow. I mean, he can hold 3 cassettes. That was all I ever wanted as a kid. So I have the tape packs. I just didn't bother to bring them. I would have let them ride with them on the top spawn spot, because they kind of are accessory bots. But it can store 3 cassettes, so I can have Rumble, who's blue by the way, Ravage, and Laserbeak in his chest at the same time, a la Season 1. His weapon store, he's incredibly articulated. Sadly, mine has some issues with the chrome, but those... not much I can do about it, and it does not undermine just how mind-blowingly epic this toy is. And that marks the end of 2013, and my TF13 2013. Now, feel free to make your own list. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Bing! And of course, SX Alpha, who is the mastermind behind this concept. Bing! And with that, I wish you all a very good new year. It is now a minute past 7 PM. And I'm just gonna go chillax with some peoples. Laters in 2014. On the 6th, that's a really hard sound for someone who isn't a native English speaker to say. For the grand finale, number 1, we have the Transformer I have waited 24 years for. I'm 23.